2 years ago today, we stood in front of you and described our dream for this project and the Maranatha Health vision for the Kamwengi community. We shared how this all began. We shared how this started as a dream to assist people in rural Uganda who were living in poverty. We shared how Maranatha Health would focus on both the causes of and treatment for ill health. We shared how Maranatha Health Australia was established in 2008 with an Australian Board of Directors created, and with a team of people, further steps were taken towards achieving this dream.
As Kate has mentioned, in February of 2011, Kim and I moved over to Uganda, and Maranatha Health Uganda was officially registered. Maranatha Health continues to grow. From what was only a dream just a couple of years ago, we now have a thriving and rapidly growing project with a committed team in Kamwengi that is making real change to that community. There are a growing number of committed people here in Australia as well as the people in Uganda who continue to make this all possible. We're excited to share with you tonight how this dream became a reality and what the future holds for us at Maranatha Health.
I'd like to welcome you all to Maranatha Health. Maranatha Health is a non-for-profit NGO located in Kamwengi, as you can see.
Kamwengi is now our home. Like the video shared, Kamwengi is a rural district in western Uganda with a rapidly growing population of over 350,000 people. Most people are subsistence farmers, growing enough to feed themselves and having a little to sell at the market. Women in particular suffer from poverty, burdensome heavy workloads and limited choices in their life. And the statistic that always gets us, a quarter of children don't make it to their 5th birthday. A statistic that weighs heavy on us personally and we believe is truly unacceptable in today's era. Despite all of this, the Kamwengi community are a vibrant, diverse community connected through deep family bonds. This family here is a family with a grandmother called Ruth, and Ruth has become almost an adopted grandmother to Michael and myself. We met Ruth at the start of 2011, and their experience as a family and their amazing resilience is a great example of the community in Kamwengi and the challenges that people face. Ruth was born and raised in Kamwengi, she's a local, and has had 6 children and has now outlived every one of her 6 children. 3 of them died when she was very young, as a young mum, and then 3 as adults she watched pass away. Now, in what should be her retirement, Ruth is caring for her 3 grandchildren. She has become a mother again, and she sells snacks in Kamwengi town at night to make a living so that they can go to school. In spite of her grief that she shares with us and her daily hardships, Ruth is a resilient and positive woman. Her story and that of her family is very typical of the lives of the Kamwengi community, and we wanted to share her story with you guys tonight.
So one of the important jobs Kim and I set about upon arrival in Uganda was to engage a building contractor and to get stuck into a pretty heavy building program. You'll see some of the pictures flashing there. We started with the clinic and also building some staff housing, and building has been pretty continuous since we arrived in Kamwengi. Building is a little different in Kamwengi to how it's done in Australia. A contractor looks after the labour side of things, but all materials and resources are upon us to collect and bring them to the site. We don't have any Bunnings warehouses in Kamwengi, and it was a real steep learning curve for us trying to find where to buy sand, where to buy bricks and rocks and all kinds of things needed for construction. And if any of you want to build something in Uganda, Kim and I can probably give you a pretty good heads up on how to do it these days. So this is a look at the Maranatha Health site as it stands now. We'll just drop in a few names here for you. So this is our clinic building here, which also happens to house our community development staff as well. Getting pretty squeezy, so soon we're hoping to add on a purpose-built community development centre. This is the site for our theatre, and I'm going to discuss a little bit more about that later on. And this is our staff compound here, which includes staff housing. The house on the lowest house down is actually where Kim and I live. And being a rural area, it's important that we can offer housing, especially to our high-level staff, to assist in their attention. Again, as Kate has mentioned, in January of last year now, we opened our clinic on the 11th. So we've just finished making 1 year. And it's been a pretty hectic year. In that year, we registered over 6,000 new patients, and we saw over 9,000 patients in total. Just to give you an idea of the kind of services that we offer at the clinic, we have a fully functioning laboratory, probably different to here, but we're quite proud of what we can do there. We have a pharmacy so that we can supply our patients with drugs, an inpatient and an outpatient area, and we also have a delivery suite for conducting deliveries. We also offer a number of services that aren't offered anywhere else in our district, and even wider than our district. It's hard to find some of these things, and these include blood transfusions, oxygen, which sounds like an odd one, but it's very important, ultrasound, and also we have a consistent supply of drugs, which is important for our patients. Just doing an ultrasound, 32-week pregnancy.
Some of them on blood transfusion. It's really hectic down here at Maranatha.
Mukasheshe twashanga katima kacateza twamukwata twamureta mu rwariro kwija hano ha Maranatha twayikireho abashaho batangira bamufaho kuba amufaho yamara ibiro bishatu ataretenganya kutwagire kureba twari yarebamo uza kurebamo kugira bati twamaraho ibiro bina twareba ari kurebamo yatubuza nemere etiyambire munonga bwo kuba ku rugiro kunabire nareba umwana kandi arebe mbera ze zitarabasa kugaruka hirya akuba tukayika hano batufaho munonga abashaho baho barafaye.
One of the really difficult things for us as a clinic, and for us personally and for our staff, is the high rate of infant mortality in Kamwengi. And I think the statistic Kim quoted before you would have heard is 1 out of every 4 children don't reach their 5th birthday. And I guess last time we were here talking with you, that was a statistic on paper to us. But now that we live in Kamwengi, we work there, we see this as a reality every day, both in the community that Kim works amongst and as the people who come into our clinic as patients. And that's a pretty horrible thing, and something we're doing our best about to change. But just to share a good news story, this was a young boy that came to us called Kato. His twin brother Kakuru is sitting next to him there. And I guess, again, as Kim mentioned, women in our district are pretty heavily burdened, and if you have a lot of children, as most of them do, sometimes it's hard to keep an eye on them all. And unfortunately, this little chap was dropped into a pot of boiling beans head first, and sustained some pretty nasty burns on his head and upper torso. Our staff really looked after this guy really well. They showed so much compassion and love for him, and all of us, I think, really fell in love with little Kato. And fortunately, through their diligent care and hard work, he, after about a month with us, just before he went home, he'd dramatically improved. So, again, we're really proud that we were able to have such a positive impact in this little boy's life.
ndi umuhanuzi w'iby'amagara muri Nkongoro hano Rugarama nigishaga amago 10 ku mago 10 ndendeho abantu 5 amago 5 ati abantu baranturanyije kumba ndigise iby'amagara mwamazi gatetse aga utegadi no wica ningagana yikunda kandi abantu maze kwigisha mu bantu 10 maze guhindura abantu mukaga bari kunywa amazi gatetse kandi bakunywa agana yikundo bagakoresha utegadi
Maranatha Health takes an empowering, relational approach to development. We believe that community development is effective when communities drive their own development. We allow communities to take the lead in the process by defining their own needs, their own challenges, their own strengths and their own resources, and then strategising from there about how we can change. We have several programs in the spread of villages around Kamwengi, income-generating coffee cooperatives, projects that address gender inequality, safe water and sanitation projects, advocacy education, the list goes on. I wanted to share about our core activity, the Village Health Advisor program that was spoken about on the video, otherwise known in the local language as the Abahabuzi Bebi Amagara program. A group of volunteers, health advisors, are elected by the community in each village and meet monthly to learn about a new health message affecting their community. Then they take this message back to their community, to individual households, to churches, to schools, wherever they can. They are given pictorial resources to assist them in communicating this message, because many in the village are illiterate, and then time to implement their message in their own household before taking it to the community. It has been incredible to see the way that these communities have taken on these messages and really made them their own. In one community, we now have 100% of households with pit latrines as a result of a sanitation message. In another community, the health advisors decided to take the message to a local government health centre and give out water purification tablets to raise awareness and serve the patients. The boy that you saw in the video not only started a little revolution of his own by sharing with the leaders in his community, but at the school he attends, children are now dobbing on each other if they don't wash their hands after going to the toilet.
One of the reasons we've been able to achieve what we have in the last couple of years is, very importantly, down to a guy called Andrew. I think you saw a picture of him there in the purple shirt in the video. We've been so blessed, so lucky to have Andrew come on board at Maranatha Health. He's a Ugandan guy. He comes from the capital city of Kampala, and he's not only become a friend to Kim and I, but really our right-hand man in this project. Andrew has a deep passion and concern for his country, and especially for those in his country who aren't getting a fair go, He's a man of real integrity and honesty, and Andrew's actually in charge of the clinic and has been for the last couple of months while we've been away, and I don't think there's safer hands we could have left it in. So I think it's important that we pay tribute tonight to Andrew as well.
Now, learning to manage a team of 36 staff in Uganda has been one of the greatest challenges since moving there 2 years ago. It's also been one of the biggest learning curves for Michael, myself and Andrew, and it's a task that's never without its dramas. But we have been really rewarded by the journey and are incredibly proud and blessed with the staff we have. And I think it's really exciting to see that picture up there tonight and see the way so many of our staff now really care for the community that they are a part of and have taken on the vision of Maranatha Health for themselves, which is really our vision and our dream in the first place.
So what does the future hold for Maranatha Health? Well, we see a pretty bright future ahead. The moment we're working from a 5-year plan, we're 1 year into that, and we have quite a lot we want to do in the next 4 years in terms of expanding the clinic and also expanding our development programs. In these coming 12 months, probably one of the most exciting and important things we're going to do clinic-wise is to build and open a theatre. And I mentioned before about the theatre, and I want to take a little bit of time just to explain a little bit more about that to you, because it's a really exciting venture, and it's great to have some guys from SCF Containers here tonight. I can recognise Matthew and Richard amongst some others there, and it's great to have them with us. But the theatre that we're going to have in Kamwangi is very unique. It's made from a shipping container, which was very generously donated by these guys over here. And it's no ordinary shipping container. It starts out looking like a normal 20-foot container, but it actually expands out both sides to become about 3 times as big, and it's a perfect space for operating. So after these guys had gone ahead and given us this, and much of it came down to Richard, whose wonderful idea kind of set the ball rolling, we got a great team, and some of them are here tonight who invested their time and skills, engineers, medical people and others who designed this thing into a functional theatre. It was built in China, brought back here, and again we've had some incredibly generous people who have donated time, materials, sinks, lights, air conditioners, all kinds of things to fit this thing together, and we were lucky enough to launch that last week, and some of you might have even seen some of the media that came out of that. And we hope to ship that over to Uganda very soon in the next couple of months and build the rest of the recovery area around that. And we'll be the first functional operating theatre for those 350,000 people. So that's going to make a mountain of difference.
There's also a lot to do in the community. This next year, we'll be expanding our community development projects. And one of the things we've realised with the projects we have now is that they're quite innovative. They're very creative, and we really place a high value on that. And so some of the pilot projects that we're currently undertaking will be expanded in different villages around Kamwangi, and with that we'll also add some more community development staff.
So I think that's almost all we have to say to you, but it would be remiss of us not to add some thanks here. So firstly, we want to thank all of you for the many ways that you've been involved with Maranatha Health. Thanks for coming along tonight and celebrating, and please really enjoy the night. It is a great night, and it's a great time to celebrate together all that has been done. Most importantly, we want to thank the many of you who have given generously of your time, your finances, your skills, and so many other things to make the work of Maranatha Health possible. It's only because of you guys here in Australia that we are able to continue the work of changing people's lives in Kamwangi.
But we thank you not just on our own, but as representatives of the Maranatha Health Uganda team who are hard at work as we speak. The Kamwangi community are well acquainted with suffering, with the grief of losing a child, a bad harvest that means not being able to feed their family, a child dropping out of school because of lack of funds. And yet they remain resilient and grateful in the midst of such suffering. So many times we have been thanked by the community. When we build the first well in a village that hasn't had any improved water source before, or when a child is made well at the clinic that otherwise would have passed away, or even when an infant dies but parents see the child treated with love and compassion in its last days at Maranatha. Words are not adequate to thank you for your contribution that allow Maranatha Health to be this beacon of hope in Kamwangi. Again and again, the people of Kamwangi have been shown that a community on the other side of the world in Australia believes in them and their future. So thank you.
I just want to appreciate those people who are putting in their effort, their dollars into this project. They are doing a very great job.
Thank you to the brothers and sisters in Australia for the support. May God bless you. Thank you.
I would like to thank you, the people of Australia, for having given us support to start this project. This project will go a long way in helping the people of Kamwenge, so thank you very much.
Singowele mama, singowele mama, singowele mama, weo. Singowele mama, singowele mama, singowele mama, weo.